I have a problem, and it's this mountain, my WIPP, WIPP, work in progress pile, emphasis on pile. I just like have a billion projects going on. We're just gonna run through what they are so you can understand how much of a problem it is. I have 3 separate containers that I've crammed everything in. First one is this little bag. It's kind of my to-go thing. I just bring whatever is in here. This is in no particular order. I'm just gonna talk about random projects and my project purgatory, you know? This is going to be a baby blanket. I was going for like Mardi Gras colors, some fuzzy textures, some sparkly things. This has not been a work in progress for too long. It's been about, I probably started it a week ago. The next one in this is a shrug. I have half of the top part done. It's gonna go like this, with little sleeves. This has been in my little purgatory for longer than the blanket has. This is probably going on 2 weeks. That it's just been sitting in this state, even though I could probably finish this within a couple of hours. Whatever. This is kind of a work in progress, but it'll be a work in progress that I can never finish. I make little star keychains of just scrap yarn. So when I have my little booth at a market, I just have like a bowl of them and people can pay what they want. And I just think it's like a cute idea to have something that's customizable price-wise on the table. And it's a good way to use up scraps. The rest of this bag is just filled with scrap yarn and then the materials to finish up the keychain. The next thing on the pile, this is also kind of a scrappy piece for markets and whatnots. I want to like have my tent canopy thing, but then have some visual interest going on in the ceiling of it, you know, that kind of complements what's on the table. So it feels more immersive. So it's just using the scrap yarn that isn't a small enough ball to be put in the star keychain category, but is a big enough thing that I'm not using for something else. This is what we got. I may have started this honestly 8 or 9 months ago. These are yarns that I have not used. I got these on like sale, but I've donated those to my little canopy ceiling thing. I like don't even know what's in all of these, so it'll be fun for both of us. Okay, I think these are a bunch of pieces, parts of different projects that I've just decided I'm not going to do them anymore. And I stuffed them in this bag to either try to like repurpose the yarn for something else or frog it and add it to my star keychain scrap pile. So it's just a billion little things from how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 other abandoned projects. The next one. And this one's so fucking stupid because it's finished, but it's not finished. This is a huge granny blanket that I was making for my neighbors before they moved away, but they moved away over a year ago. So this project has been in the works, I mean, yeah, for like a year and a handful of months. I also moved away. I don't even live in that same house anymore. I just have to sew it this way and then do a border. That should take me like a day, right? And it's been sitting in this state exactly for like 6 months. I had all the squares done and part of it sewn before they moved. And then I realized that I wasn't going to get it done before they moved. So then I just put it on hold for like a few months. And then yeah, like 6 months ago, I was like, I'm just gonna finish it. I need to just get it done. And I sewed it all one way, and then I lost motivation and didn't sew it the other way, and now it's just been sitting untouched. The next one is this. I can't even. I probably started this also like a year ago. It's kind of tedious. The stitches are small. I'm making up the pattern as I go along. I just lost steam and never really picked it back up again. But it's also supposed to be something for my booth when I do markets. I wanted hangy vine things or like a Spanish moss type vibe to hang on the frame of my canopy. It's been sitting in this like sad, wimpy state forever, and it'll sit there forevermore because I have no inclination to pick it back up. This is, oh, maybe this should be in the other bag. This is a thing that I was trying to make like a fun That's crazy. You can see the different dye lots so easily on camera. That's absurd. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't finish it. I was making some sort of top. I probably started this 2 years ago. I had one whole sleeve done and I had part of another sleeve done and was just trying to match it. But then I got sick of doing that and it sat in that weird 75% done state for a year and a half. And then this past holiday season, I wanted to use the yarn that I used for the sleeves, which is different than this yarn, for something. And so I frogged the sleeves. Oh, I also had a neckline and cuffs and a border to it. So I took all of that off and now it's just the like vest part. And I was just winging this shit. I'm not a strong knitter and it's knit in this weird ass yarn and it's heavy. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, what possessed me? This is supposed to go in that bag of things I'm gonna frog. And do we all remember that Harry Styles sweater? I made one for my sister, and don't look at this because I did not know how to do like color work things yet, and so it's all wrong. Just don't pay attention to this. But I made one for her and then she never fucking wore it. I think this is just an extra piece or something from it that I ended up not using, and the yarn that I used to go along with it. And it's so funny. I must have made that like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know. I wanted to use this in something, like maybe I was gonna make more panels of it and make a little scrappy bag that references that designer sweater but is a little more for everyday use, I guess. I also have these yarns. Vague. This I hand spun and I was using to make like a net for a lampshade, which is vague. If I can find like a photo, I'll put it somewhere, but if I can't. And then this is like some other acrylic-y. Do you remember when it was like a trend to use that like super chunky, like roving-esque yarn? I bought some of those and I spun them up to make the project that is one of the projects that's in here. And this is the leftover from that. So these two feel like special to me because I spun them. What do you do with this kind of stuff? You want to hold it because you want to remember working with it, or you want to remember the project that it was for. So I don't want to like just randomly use this up, but also I don't like want a shelf of random balls of yarn. So I want to do something with it, but I don't know what yet. And this is just kind of an acrylic thing. The colorway was so hard to find. Is it like, what mental illness is that I'm afraid to use things because they feel special to me? What do I do with these? If you have any idea, let me know. So that's what's in here. Okay, that was my second bin. Upon opening, some of these aren't works that are in progress, but they're like things that I've set aside for a project that I don't necessarily, or it's like a kit or something that I don't necessarily want just in my normal stashes. Like it helps for me to just keep them separate. So like this one is a little kit to make fingerless gloves that I bought it wasn't 2021, was it? Either 2021 or 2022, and haven't started it and have just kept it in my work in progress pile since then. The next thing is my grandma gifted me this cute little needle felted kit. What am I gonna do if I put this with the rest of my other stuff? So it's gonna stay in here. These are not fiber related at all. These are Nightmare Before Christmas perler bead iron things that I also got for sale. Probably like not this past Halloween, but the one before, but when they were on sale after Halloween. So probably November, December-ish that I bought these. I have 4 of them. Yeah, another kit thing. The next one is, remember a few months ago, every fucking YouTuber that does anything crochet related was reviewing the red heart yarn where it like is a self-making granny square and you just kind of like, you know? I wasn't gonna buy it. And there were some that were on like a crazy sale and I just wanted something kind of mindless but not so mindless that it was like numbing. So I bought one. Then while I was doing it, I had all these questions come up in my head that I hadn't seen other reviewers answer. So I thought I might make a video about it to answer my own questions instead instead of just finishing the square, I've been holding part of the skein undone because I might make a video about it. But they've been sitting in this like half done, half undone state for maybe 4 months, I think, and I haven't made a video yet. So the next bag is, I did this community project a while ago, and this one woman who participated in the project had a bunch of yarn that she wasn't using, and she very generously gifted it to me, and I've been meaning to find something to make with it that kind of like honors community in general, but I haven't like sat down and thought of an idea yet. She gave these to me in 2022. The other thing in here is a scarf. I started this last summer, so it's been almost a year. I was making these bigger sunflowers and then these smaller ones to kind of go around it, so it was kind of wide all the way through, but then I didn't like it. I think this was fine. I think this was just like visually too much, and the fact that they were sunflowers got kind of lost. So the project is to take out all of these and then finish weaving in these ends. The next one in here is another scarf that I probably started about a year ago as well. This one was just kind of a checkered thing, and I have all the squares to finish it, and I just need to sew the rest of it. Do y'all remember the pony bead crochet things? People were making pony bead animals out of little crocheted pieces. I wanted to make my own little pattern for one, but I wanted to do candy corn, and so I have most of the pieces, and it's been like that for less than a year, because I guess I started making it in October. But another project that I feel like I could get done in a day. This one is, I bought this, and I'm not gonna take this out because there's a lot of little pieces. I bought this pattern to make that like the sandworm from Beetlejuice. If I can find the person who made the pattern or the link to the pattern, I'll put it in the description because it looks super fucking cool. For last year's temperature project, I was gonna do like the sandworm head, and then all the stripes would be the temperature for the day, you know? So I started this probably at the end of 2023, and then I hate sewing things together. So I made the inner mouth part. I made, you can't see it, most of the outer mouth part. I made all the teeth, and I just needed to like stuff and sew and assemble, and I just couldn't make myself do it. So I ended up making a temperature worm instead. So I still got it done, but now I'm just like transitioning my mindset over to just making this as the sandworm itself. Anyway, next. I got this little chair because I think it would be cute to paint it all bright colored and silly and whatever, and use it as a business card holder for markets and whatnot. So I would just like one thing that isn't too big, that isn't too confusing. So that's what I was doing with this. I just thought it was cute and kitschy, and I probably bought this 7 or 8 months ago. So my cat, he's very playful, and I like to play with him with just my hand. And so for Christmas, not this year, but last year, I think, I was going to make him a little stuffy kicky thing, just like out of felt. I need to finish sewing and stuffing it, and then he can play all he wants. I wanted it to look like somebody just chopped a hand off, because he's a fucking animal. I used to make patches all the time, and then I kind of fell out of love with it. So I was trying to do something to rejuvenate the spark or whatever. So I made this little coffin, and it says MCR. I needed to fix something or undo something, and I just stopped. I probably started making this 5 years ago, like something absurd like that, 4 or 5 years ago, and she's been like this ever since. I was making this little leaf. It started as part of an assignment that I had. I think it was like spring semester 2021. I started this, and I got about this far, and I told myself that I would finish, and I'm this far. So you tell me how that went. Okay, we're getting close to the end. I can feel it. Holy shit. So this is that same semester, spring 2021. I spun a bunch of yarn, and I just have the roving and the spun yarn. I'm leading up to something, I swear. And the spun yarn in these like, what brand is this? Tomboy bags. You're lying. I'm so fucking stupid. So now I'm glad that I did this. Speaking of those star keychain things that I make, I just found a ton of them that I just need to sew and add the keychains to. Like this whole bag is full of, you can't really see, just trust me that they're in there, is full of little crochet stars that I need to turn into keychains. I think I was using this bag to hold them in while I was moving because all my normal stuff was like packed away and I totally forgot they were in here. This entire bag is full of them. There's gotta be like 15 to 20 keychains worth of stars in here. Great, okay, awesome. Whatever, I'm gonna throw that with the rest of them. That's crazy. Okay, I feel like I'm falling apart. Okay, so resuming. So I spun a bunch of yarn. I had so much fun in this class. I wanted to like honor it in some way. I wanted to make a patchwork cardigan that would be kind of my like studio garb, like just super fun, crazy colored, weird, different textures of stuff, but all yarn that I spun in that class. So I have all these squares for the cardigan that, oh, this isn't a square. This is just, I think, what I was gonna use to sew everything together. I need to block and sew together and then she'll be done. My last project, while the sun is slowly going away, that I want to show is the one with the yarn that I was talking about earlier that I bought the like chunky roving yarn for, but spun it instead of just using it as is. This is all hand spun, which again, what the fuck was I thinking? I didn't have to do that. I could have found a similar already spun yarn. This is another huge blanket, but it's a circle instead of a square. And you can't even see how much of a circle it is because I don't know how to show it to you. It's another huge blanket project. And it's this really pretty bluey, purpley color that it's not gonna pick up well. I'm recording this too late in the day. I don't know what I was thinking when I said I want to spin yarn for like a huge fucking blanket just cause. The blanket part is done, but what I wanted to do with it was add little stars. So it's kind of a dreamy, unicorny night sky. I have a bunch of these stars, these like 2 colored ones. I have some just normal ones without the shiny shit. They're all different sizes. They're different textures. I probably started this in 2021 as well. I cannot turn back now. Frogging it is not an option. I have to finish it the way that it is. Man, I think that the pandemic really like fucked my brain up. Why did I start so many projects that were unhinged? A respectable person could make this and do this really well and it'd be great. I had just learned how to spin and I was spinning with this like slippery acrylic. I would just like sit at my wheel and just go and go and go and go and go and then crochet what I had. I was crocheting also, which like eats yarn up like crazy. Crocheting the hand spun yarn and then I would just spin everything and then crochet it and then run out and then spin more and then crochet it and then run out and then like it took so long to get to this point, but it's just crazy to me that I even thought that I could do this and that I even got this far. Anyway, that is officially the end of my work in progress pile. I'm gonna tally up all of my fucking projects to let all you bitches out there know that it's okay to have a work in progress pile. Maybe it's not okay. If you're like me, I'm sorry. And if you're not like me and you're smarter, help me. Sitting by the light now. I just wanted to go through my pile, find my crowd of crazy work in progress hoarders, and bye.